Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. I want to look at Leviticus, the 19th chapter in the law today. As always, we're going to start off with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. So, we're going to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Going over the laws, you can just push going over the laws, Leviticus 19th chapter, Priest Awam, and you should be able to get this lesson. So I think I have 109 lessons on going over the laws. So this will be 110. So Leviticus 19th chapter, verse 1 says, And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, this is when we, as the children of Israel, came out of Egyptian captivity and we in the wilderness. Speaking to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, pure and righteous, and just. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. You see? So, look at Leviticus 11 and 44. Leviticus 11 and 44. Most High wants us to be holy, because he said he's holy. Leviticus 11:44. For I am the Most High, your power. Your is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. He said he's our power. The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. For I am the Most High, your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So he said we got to be holy because he's holy. He's telling us how to be holy as we learn his laws, statutes, commandments, which is his rules and regulations. Look at Leviticus, the 20th chapter, and verse 7. Leviticus 20 and 7. Leviticus 20 and 7. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy. It says, sanctify ourselves and be ye holy. For I am the Most High, your power. So, get St. John 17:17. He wants us to sanctify ourselves, to be holy, right? So he told us in St. John 17:17, do a Mashiach Yahushai, what did he say? He said, sanctify them. How? Through thy truth. And once again, you know the truth is Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So he's telling us to sanctify ourselves, clean ourselves up with the laws of the Most High. He said thy word is truth, you see? So we learning the truth in understanding the Bible. As it is written, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Ephesians 5:25. Ephesians 5 and 25. Ephesians 5:25. 26. Ephesians 5:26, that he might sanctify and clean it. So when you sanctifying someone, or they being sanctified, or we being sanctified, we cleaning ourselves up. That's what he says, sanctify them through thy truth. You clean yourself up by following the rules and regulations of the Most High, which is his law, statutes, commandments. That's why it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it. Clean us up. How? With the washing of water by the word. You see? That's how you clean. That's why Mashiach Yahushai said in St. John 15 and 3. We got to be cleaned up from all the filth and the abominations that we've been exposed to and being exposed to, that you don't really get caught up in it, be thrown in the lake of fire, where you gonna melt you. Look, St. John 15 and 3. Now you are clean. Says sanctify, right? Now you are clean. Now you sanctified. Now you clean. How? Through the word which I have spoken unto you. You see? So you're not going to deviate from it. That's how you be clean. Go to Leviticus, the 20th chapter. And now that we know when he's saying to sanctify yourselves, he tells us to clean ourselves up with his laws, statute, commandments, which is in his word. As we learn it all throughout the Bible, his rules and regulations. Jump to verse 26 of Leviticus 20th chapter. And you shall be holy unto me, for I, the Most High, am holy, and have severed you from other people. You see, he separated us from other people, these other nations, that ye should be mine. You see that? He said he separated us from other people that we should be his. It's powerful. You got to see this. Look at Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. He wants us to be holy, cleaned up from the filth of all the different captivities that we've been in, following these other nations and creating things beyond what they can create in wickedness. Deuteronomy 7 and 6, he wants us to be holy. It says, for thou art an holy people. See? Talking to the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 1 and 1 says, these be the words that the Most High spake unto Moses on this side to the children of Israel on this side of Jordan. So now it's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. Say, for thou art an holy people, Israelites, unto the Most High thy power. There it goes again. Your power. Thy is your power. The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people. How? Unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's how special he look at us and have looked at us. A special people unto himself. That he said above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2. He wants us to be holy though. You can't be holy and not do what he say do. But how you going to do what he say do and you don't know what he say do? That's why we got to go over these laws. We got to go over it. Review them. Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art an holy people. There it is again. Talking to the children of Israel. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. And the Most High have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. A peculiar people unto himself. Above all the nations that are upon the earth. So he chose to be a peculiar people. Nobody's like us. You know. Everybody want to be like us, but they don't want to be us. Conditions that we go through and seeing all the things that's happening to us, oh no. But Most High said, thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power, which is your power, Israelites. And the Most High have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. He set us up to be above all the nations of the earth, but we beneath because we didn't follow what he told us to do. Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9. He wants us to be holy though. Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9. When the Most High divided to the nations, so remember he said he severed us from all the nations that we could be his. So when the Most High divided to the nations, their inheritance, the lands that these other nations are going to live on. When he separated the sons of Adam, you hear that? He didn't integrate all the people. He separated all the sons of Adam. We all come from Adam. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. You hear that? He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Meaning he gave the Israelites their land, or our land, then he gave the other nations their land. For the Most High's portion is his people. His is a personal pronoun, possessive pronoun, showing ownership. Look, for the Most High's portion is his people. Look at Exodus, hold that. Let's read on. His people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. So Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and we became the Israelites from our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. But he said the Most High's portion is his people. So who is his people? Exodus 18 and 1. We're going to get some understanding through these precepts. Exodus 18 and 1. Because the Bible answers itself. That's why the Most High says, study to show thyself approved unto him. When Jethro, who is Moses' father-in-law, the priest of the Midian, Moses' father-in-law, see, there it is, heard of all that the Most High had done for Moses and for Israel, his people. See? Moses and Israel, his people. Can't get no clearer than that. You see? So now, when you're going back to Deuteronomy 32 and 9, say, for the Most High's portion is his people, who are the Israelites. We just proved that. Exodus 18 and 1 just proved that. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, who's the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, is the lot of his inheritance, right? So when you look at what it says here in verse 8, it says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, see, he didn't integrate everybody. He separated the sons of Adam, meaning he gave every nation their woman to create their nation. And when the Mashiach come back, what's he going to do? A lot of y'all think he's coming back and gonna, with rose petals and everything gonna be lolly-dolly, this, that, the third. Look what he gonna do. First thing he gonna do when he come back, besides separate the wheat from the tares from the wheat. But just what he gonna do also. Matthew 35:31. Since the Most High severed us from all the nations, and he separated all the nations, all those that come from Adam, we all come from Adam. Listen to what he says. Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man, who was a Mashiach Yahushai, shall come in his glory, he said he coming as a man, coming in his angelic, spiritual, high-powered power, and all the holy angels with him. Revelation 9:16 say he come with 200 million angels. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He gonna sit upon the throne of his glory, get ready to judge and make war, and set himself up to rule for 1,000 years. And before him, listen, and before him shall be gathered all nations. That's every last nation in this world. And he shall separate them. You hear what he said? He gonna separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats, right? And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left, right? So, who the sheep? Matthew 15:24. Listen to what he said out of his own mouth. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the sheep are the house of Israel, without a shadow of a doubt. You need more proof? You can go prove it further. Go to the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, verse 6. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, verse 6. What does it say? It says, my people. My people. A lot of you might think that's talking about you. When you say my people, let's find out who his people are. My people. Get right to the point, Exodus 3:10. He said, my people. So who is his people? Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel. That thou might bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Who we are. So now, when you see Jeremiah 50:6, or you see my people in the Bible, you know it's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. So Jeremiah 50:6, my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, have been lost sheep. You see that? He said, my people have been lost sheep. Now look at verse 17. It says, Israel is a scattered sheep. See? So, Mashiach Bashai, when he come back, he's separating all the nations. So all you think that America, this great melting pot, and all these nations being together, when he come back, he gonna separate all the nations. Well, they're gonna be a lot of these nations gonna go back to their own land anyway. They're gonna feed back into their own land anyway. But you see what he said in Matthew 25, dealing with just what we just read in Deuteronomy 32, 8, and 9, when the Most High separated all the nations. Plus he told us he separated us from all the nations also, as the Israelites. So when he come back, Matthew 25 and 32, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. As a shepherd divideth his sheep. Now we know what the sheep are. We define that. The sheep from the goats, right? So who the goats? And it's not only looking at animals, but it's looking at people. That's why the sheep, we just define as the 12 tribes of Israel. We're people. We're a nation. We're 12 nations within one that makes up one nation. But who's the goats? Until this day. Daniel's 8:21. And the rough goat, Daniel's 8 and 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Who would be who? Alexander the Greek. That you read about in 1 Maccabees in the Bible, 1 Maccabees 1 and 1 down. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn or power that is between his eyes is the first king. Now the first king of this rough goat, who's calling the rough goat, is Alexander the Greek. That's the first king of the Greek Empire. So now, and understand this, that's why he told us in Revelation 18 and 4, he said, and I heard another voice, Salakia, from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. See? To sin is an action. That's why he's saying, come out of her, my people, because you can people saying, leave America or leave wherever you at to go somewhere else. What's the point of going somewhere else and you still gonna be sinner? You still gonna be a sinner. You still gonna be sinning. That don't make no sense. So he's telling us, come out of her, my people. Come out of that mindset of sinning, being sinners. Come out of her, my people. My people again, the Israelites. That you be not partakers of her sins, partakers of the wickedness that's going on in this land, that they perpetrate on this earth. And that you receive not of her plagues. Like, the Most High gonna bring plagues on them. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. See that? That's why he said, hey, that's the mindset. That's the mindset, how you think. Do you think wrong? Or do they have you programmed still to follow them to hell? The wicked, I'm saying. Of any nation. You following them for this little short span of time that you have on this earth, and not realizing that we got everlasting life promised to us. Work to have your name written in the book of life. Because the Mashiach said, hey, you're going to put the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. Going back to Matthew 25th chapter, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, who are the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Hear that? It's always been promised to the Most High's chosen people, the Israelites, from the foundation of the world. Now, for the other people that have the same mindset of the Greeks, the Romans, Spanish, the French, the Germans, the Russians, the British, Edomites, who are the superpower of earth during the last days, the ones that's following in wickedness, he said this to them. Verse 41. Matthew 25:41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, who had a mindset of the Greeks and the Greeks, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For the devil and his angels. Okay? Verse 45. Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say to you, insomuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, helping the least of the Israelites, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. That's a judgment. That's why you got a choice to choose life or death. It behooves everyone that hear my voice to come back to the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments, or you're going to be dealt with. He just told you. I know that's not your Jesus, but it's Hamashiach Yahushai who just told you the judgment, whether you accept it or not. Ecclesiastes, because 17 to 17. Ecclesiasticus 17 to 17. Most High want us to be holy. Ecclesiasticus 17 to 17. For in the division, not the integration, but in the division of the nations, in the division of the nations, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. A ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. Hear that? For in the division, not the integration, but just the Most High. But in the division of the nations, that's all the nations, of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. See? So the Most High wants us to be holy. Go to Romans 7 and 12. Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy. You see? Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and what? And good. So the law is holy. We keep the law, we become holy. And the commandment holy. Keep the commandments, we holy. And just and good. Okay? So the Most High wants us to be holy. Going back to Leviticus, the 19th chapter, that's what we're looking at. You can maintain a marker there. So the Most High told us in verse 2 of Leviticus 19th chapter, he says, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy. Ye shall be holy. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. So he said, ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am the Most High, your power, right? So he say, ye shall fear every man his mother and his father. Go to Exodus 20 and 12. You say, fear your mother and your father. Exodus 20 and 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, the Most High told us. Say, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. So he told us we got to honor our father and our mother, that we can live a long time on the land. Go to Exodus 16 and 23. Exodus 16 and 23. Because right now, we promised the land. But this land going to last forever and ever and ever. So these commandments are in effect right now as I'm speaking. But a lot of people don't, you've been taught you're not under the commandments. Therefore, you said, I ain't got to follow you, Most High. He took all the time to give us all these commandments that you see we going through. He not saying, think about this, or you got a free will to choose if you want to or not. I haven't read that in the Bible. Look, you got a choice to choose life or death. You choose to do what he say do, you got life. You don't choose to do what he say do, he say, I'm going to melt you. So what choice you going to take? That's a choice you have. Exodus 16th chapter, verse 23. And he said unto them, this is that which the Most High have said. Do what the Most High said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Most High. He said tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath. That's why he told us in Exodus the 20th, well, let's go here, then because we before Exodus 20th chapter, so let's continue. Say, bake that which is ye will bake today. Because he's talking about you're not supposed to cook on the Sabbath. A lot of you probably still cooking on the Sabbath and say, oh, the Most High know my heart, because y'all still got that same type of mindset that you had before you came into the truth. No, he said, hey, he said, bake that which ye will bake today. He said, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath. The holy Sabbath unto the Most High. It's his day. Bake that which ye will bake today, and see that ye will see, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink. Right? Because he told them, he gave them enough for 2 days. But you had those that didn't follow the commandments and went out there and went out there and it was stinking. He gave them enough. He told them make enough for 2 days. So you ain't have to cook on the Sabbath day. And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink. Neither was there any worm therein. He had worms all in it. And Moses said, eat that today, for tomorrow is a Sabbath unto the Most High. Today ye shall not find it in the field. Right? The Sabbath day. He says 6 days ye shall gather it. Gather up. Gather it up on six days. But on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath day, which is holy, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather it up, thinking that they're going to find whatever they want, as it was with every day. But he said, he already told us, the Sabbath day, you're not supposed to be doing this. The manna's going to be, it stunk. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people, stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious, and not believing, on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, for to gather, and they found none. And the Most High said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Most High have given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. You hear that? On the 6th day gave us the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. See? So now, and then he called that which they had manna. Now go to Exodus the 20th chapter. And look at verse 8 down. Exodus 20 and 8. It said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. "6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work." 6 days. Work's supposed to be done. But the 7th day, look at the calendar, and you see the 7th day is from The 6th day even to the 7th day. Beginning of the 7th day starts in the evening, but you know Esau starts at 12 o'clock. But you know what I'm saying. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High, thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work. You're not supposed to be working on the Sabbath. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant. Everybody got a day off. Nor thy cattle. Not the first day of the week. Look at the calendar, because I mean, it's kind of like ironic that our people, he said the 7th day, but then you look at a calendar, you got a calendar on your phone, on the wall. Look at the calendar. The first day of the week is when they honoring, so-called honor the Most High, when they're not. It's that day. Because I mean, Most High, all the days named after God, so I'm not even saying it. You know what day I'm talking about, that everybody go to church. But the 7th day, which is the day before they go to church, the last day of the week, look at the calendar, you see the last day of the week. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High, thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle. Even the animals had a break, a day off. Nor thy strangers that are within thy gates. The strangers coming into your gates, they had a day off too. For in 6 days the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua as an angel of the Most High, made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. See? It's very important, his Sabbath day. Now from there we're going to look at Exodus 31. Go to Exodus the 31st chapter. Exodus 31. And verse 13. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Sabbaths ye shall keep. Hear that? He said, Verily, truly my Sabbaths ye shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you. Hear this? Listen at this. The Sabbath is a sign between us and the Most High. It is a sign between me and you throughout your generation, including the generations that we in now. It's a sign between the Most High and us as the children of Israel throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Most High that does sanctify you. You see, the cleaning us up through his word. He gets all the glory. Go back to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Let's read verse 4. He said, Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Most High, your power. They don't deal with these idols. Look at Exodus, the 20th chapter. Exodus 20th chapter, this is where you find the 10 Commandments. Exodus 20. And we're going to look at verse 3. He said, Thou shalt have no other gods, no other idols before me. So you're not supposed to be dealing with having anything. Well, he'll tell you, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, no graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. I don't think anybody been up heaven above to paint anything or likeness of anything that's in heaven above. If you have, let me hear it. What you seen when you went to heaven above, where the Most High the angels are. So I don't think you can really create anything, but people probably are. And they have, you know, in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You hear that? The water under the earth. You know, the bottom of the ocean got have water. It's earth right there. Water and earth, right? Under the earth. This is the key right here. No matter what it is that's been created, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. You hear that? Because people have things that they bow down to. I seen the Pope come down the steps and he went in front of something that he had like a little altar and had a little bitty cross there. And he was praying, bowing down to that little cross. Some of you got like in Brazil, they got the big old, a giant Caesar Borgia statue. Way up in the air, on a mountain, with his hands out. And people probably thinking that that's Mashiach Yahushai, who they call Jesus Christ. They building the giant ones, they say bigger than that one. To put over the city, a city. People destroy it for lack of knowledge. That's why he said, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. Nothing. You can't bow down to nothing in this world. Because the Most High told us in John 4:24, the Most High is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. He's the invisible power. So what you going to put in front of you that's visible when he's invisible? Make that make sense. Help me out. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. Because everything looking around, I can see everything that my eyes can see. I can't see what's invisible. Can you? Since he's invisible power, what you going to make to put in front of you to bow down to it that's visible when he's invisible? I'll take a rocket science to figure that one out. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power. Visit iniquity, the wickedness of the fathers, upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Say, I'm going to get you. He said, and showing mercy, which is not getting something you do deserve, unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Do what I say do, my rules and regulations. Okay? That's what it's all about. Looking at what's right and doing what's right. Anything else than that? He just told you his name is jealous. So he's a jealous power. Visiting iniquity on the children to the third and fourth generation. That means going all the way down to the great-great-grandchildren. Exodus 34. The 34th chapter, verse 17. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. You hear that? Because remember, what we do? Moses went up to get the 10 commandments. To get the commandments. Because the 10 commandments is based upon how we love the Most High and how we love each other as Israelites. You know, how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. 613 laws. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. But we know the sacrificial law was done away with when the Mashiach Yahushua died for our sins as the ultimate sacrifice. See, thou shalt make thee no molten gods. Right? What we do? We built that big calf. Moses went up there 40 days and 40 nights. We built a big calf. Said, this is our power that brought us out of Egypt. How do you think the Most High feel? When you really look at us, even to this day, you got all these other entities that takes his place. That people have taken his place. He said, hey, learn of me. You know, talk about me. We talk about everything else besides him. And then people that talk about him, people get an attitude, oh, you got to talk about the Bible too much. You talk about the Most High. Them is demons. Them is spirits. Something's wrong with that. When he told you, you're supposed to be teaching your children, the children supposed to be hearing of the Most High. Oh, but everybody going to bow down. You're going to bow down now, but you're going to bow down later. You're going to bow down to the Most High. He said you're going to be all in all. That's what this is all about. Don't get it twisted. This is what it's all about. That he's going to be all in all. Not you, me, or anybody else, but the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why I say his name is jealous. He's a jealous power. Well, you ever been jealous or felt jealousy? Some type of way? A lot of you probably have because you're still jealous of things. You know, I haven't experienced jealousy that much. But I remember when I was young, I did. And I know that wasn't a good feeling. It was terrible. Let that go. Forget it. So Psalms 96 and 5. He said, don't bow down to no idol. Psalms 96 and 5. You have all these idols. You know, it's a place that have nothing but idols. And I rebuke that place every time I roll by it. Because I love the Most High. I love Mashiach Yahushua. And I love Yasharallah. Psalm 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols. So those gods are there for the nations. That's their gods. But a lot of people going to follow these nations that have these idols and think they're rolling with the Most High. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. When do I say the Most High made the heavens? Because a lot of these different religions and so forth, what are they? Symbols. They got the crescent moon, they got the stars, they got the sun, they got all kind of things. That's why the Most High said, but the Most High made the heavens. Jeremiah 10, go to Jeremiah 10, 1 and 2. Jeremiah the 10th chapter, verse 1 and 2. Jeremiah 10, 1 and 2. Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. So he ain't talking to no other nation. He's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. Thus said the Most High, who is the power of who? Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. What did he tell us? Learn not the way of the heathen. These are the nations, because all the nations' gods are what? Idols. He said, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. That's why he said, Most High made the heavens, right? He said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So dismayed that they taking the sun and the moon and the stars and the comets, all that. Remember the people had all Nike tennis shoes, killed themselves, they was believing in comets. All kind of craziness, man. That's why I say we're not supposed to do that, but what do? Psalms 106 and 35. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. Psalm 30. 106 and 35. Psalms 106 and 35. But were mingled among the heathen, because we were scattered among the heathen. He told us we ain't follow his laws, statutes, commandments. He's going to scatter us among all nations. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. But were mingled among the heathen, these other nations, and did what? And learned their works. What did he just tell us? Learn not the way of the heathen, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and served their idols. Like a lot of you in these different types of religion, you're dealing with idolatry. Because the Most High gave us laws, statutes, commandments, rules, and regulations to go by. Period. That's it. In the church, the people are the church, the children of Israel, we the church. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. You hear that? A trap. It's a trap. And a lot of you caught up in this trap that has been set up for you to go to hell with them. Whoever it is, the wicked. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters and the devils. You hear that? That's what we did. And still doing. Sacrificing our sons and daughters and the devils. And you'll have those that come in and say, why are you doing that? Because they don't know. You got to rebuke those spirits. You got to be set apart. To be set apart is you a Hebrew Israelite 24/7. You don't give in to no one. You hear what he said? Yeah, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils. A lot of people give them over to the devils and they program them. They want to keep them in school long as they can to program them. Then you got to deprogram them from what's right. Because you can't show me anybody on this earth that came from my two mommies. You can't show me nobody on this earth that came from my two daddies. Point blank. Everybody had a man and a woman to come in this earth. Now, if you can, show me that. But they say it's okay. They teach that to the little children. Then you got to reverse their mindset to see that the Most High said that's abomination. In other words, that's sin. That's a filthy, wicked act, just for that particular cause. Sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. The Most High said, get rid of all of that. When he gave us the land, he said, get rid of all the idols and put them to death. He said, put them to death and break down all the idols and groves and everything that they had going on, that we wouldn't follow. What we do, we always looking at something that's wicked and jumping right in it. Until this day. Now, do no research. Like I tell you, look at the origin of these things that you believe in so heavily. You're reading about the origin of this, what I believe in right here in this Bible. Because I want to ask you what's before the Bible. Last I read, Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, before there was even an earth. So y'all was here before there was an earth? I don't think so. Even before the earth was formed. Wasn't the earth formed in the beginning of this Bible? So I don't know what could be before that. Nevertheless, we sacrificed our sons and our daughters to idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, us, we the Israelites, and went a-whoring with their own inventions, invented new things to be wicked in doing. Matter of fact, the scripture said we taught the wicked our ways, and our wickedness surpassed the way of the wicked. Therefore, the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, the Israelites, insomuch that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance. Remember, it said Jacob is inheritance of the Most High. He hated us, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. Since you want to follow the heathen, he gave us into their hands, and they that hated them, not loved them, but hated us, ruled over us, ruled over them. Until this day. Because we still gonna follow the way of the heathen. Look at Isaiah 42nd chapter. Still gonna follow just what they say do. Most I said, never trust thine enemy. We gonna follow whatever it is they say do. As it is written. Isaiah 42nd chapter. Verse 5 through 8. Thus said the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He that created the heavens, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and stretched them out. He that spread forth the earth, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And spirit to them that walk therein. Who? The Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness. You hear that? He called us in righteousness and will hold thy hand. But we got to look at what righteousness is. Deuteronomy 6:25 defines righteousness. He said he's going to hold our hand in righteousness. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness. How? If, was a condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, Israelites, as he have commanded us. So now, when you look at Isaiah 42:6, it say, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness to do what I say do, to follow my rules and regulations, and will hold thine hand. He said, gonna hold our hand, and will keep thee. He'll keep us, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. Because he know our people. What do our people call themselves now? Your family members. They call you, say, we the Israelites. They say, what? I'm Gentile. I'm a Gentile. What have been taught to say? The Jews killed Christ. Oh, no, the Jews killed. He came to go to John 1:11. They know that scripture. He came unto his own received him not. But they don't read verse 12. But as many as received him, gave he power, that spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, the name of the anointed Savior. You understand? Because that's how we reach the Most High, for the power. And who's the power? If Yahweh's not the power, if the Most High ain't the power, who's the power? How you get the power? How you get to the power? In the name of the anointed Savior. See? We're supposed to be a light to our people, the Israelites, that are Gentiles. But I'll say this, it behooves everyone to come back to his rules and regulations. You can't go wrong with this. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. Those that are captivated with ignorance, not knowing. And their minds are in captivity. So they destroy for lack of knowledge in the way they think, in the actions that they bring forth from the way they think and speak. You can tell. That's why he say you got to bring them out of darkness. That darkness is ignorance, not knowing. And we got a power. I can't say his name enough. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That loves us. You don't say he loved no one else, but he say he love us. All we got to do is do what he say do. We got next forever and ever and ever. And it behooves anyone that hear my voice to actually look at this and try and follow what it is that this is saying. I am the Most High. That is my name. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob been the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel all day, all night, 24/7. It don't change. In my glory will I not give to another. So he ain't giving his glory to another, any other people. Neither my praise to graven images. You hear that? So when y'all dealing with worshiping on the first day of the week, you know what they call it. You worshiping the sun. You understand? And who that represent? Nimrod and his son Tammuz. Take it or leave it. They set it up so that the pagans in 325 AD, under the Council of Nicaea, when you got your so-called New Testament, the books that they say are going to be in the New Testament, that's what they determined.